What is it that you really, truly want out of your life? What do you really want from this life here? It's strange to think that we don't always clarify ourselves on this matter. We don't always take the time to really look within and ask ourselves, who are we? What are we doing here? And what do we really want to do? Sometimes it's hard, and we can't blame ourselves for that. We live in a world where so much is being asked from us from nearly every direction. And by the end of the day, we're too exhausted to ask ourselves this question. All we've got is the time to go to sleep and wake up and to do all that work again. And rinse and repeat. Anything that you want in life, you can have it. If you figure out and get ultra clear on what you want, then it shall be yours. Because the power that you really are, and I know that you don't always have the time to feel this power with your awareness, so you might not fully realize it. But the power that you are is unstoppable. It is fierce. Nothing can win against the power of who you really are. Truly. But until you're clear on who you really are and what you really want out of life, then we are destined to continuously make a decision that goes a little bit this way, and then a decision that goes a little bit this way, and then a decision that goes a little bit this way, and then that, and then here, because we don't know, because we are not awake to who we really are, not fully. What ends up happening is we become a sort of victim of circumstance. We allow external reality, others around us, and the way that life is set up to be what decides for us whether we go this way or that. In other words, we are reactive and active only when life pushes and pokes at us. But there is another way to live. And I only wanted to remind you of it today because I know how powerful you are. And because I know that it will take you much less time than you might be worried about right now to create the life that is really who you are. And the reason for this is because the life of who you really are doesn't actually have to be created. That's the irony. It already exists because it is who you are. All you have to actually do is align with it. Right? But you won't align with it, not clearly. Sometimes we align with it. We feel that incredible sense of, oh my God, I'm aligned right now. You know what it feels like. Of course you do. We've all felt it, but it doesn't last long, does it? Maybe a week. Suddenly we're down again. We frantically wonder why. And we do all sorts of things in our life to try to figure out how to maintain that feeling. But every time we grasp our hands around it, we lose it. What is happening here? Imagine that there is a very specific path that is unique to your soul. And you don't have to imagine this because it's true. There is a very special path that is yours. Whether you resonate with talking about the universe, God, spirit, doesn't matter, because if it helps you, you can see it just like this. Your person that you are being here in this life, you're unique. There is no one like you. And there is a way that you could be living your life that would fully satisfy every part of yourself, meaning you would never feel trapped again in any sort of box. The reason for this being that you would never be putting yourself into any of those boxes anymore. The only reason that we do put ourselves in these boxes unconsciously is because we are not consciously aware of who we really are. So I ask you again, what do you want out of life? Because if you can clearly answer, then it is yours. Because once you know, it is as simple as every external circumstance from this point forward, any moment, any push or poke that life gives us, we always go in the direction of the clarity we now have about who we are and what we want out of life. If you know that what you want out of life is to be loving, a loving person who feels love, then that means from now on, any toxic interaction you have with anyone, any challenges, anything that has to do with this, you are no longer reactive. You don't any longer get pushed in any direction based on circumstance, because you know, you have the clarity that who you really are and what you really want out of life is to feel love and to share love. And so now you can consciously choose it in every moment. It's really that easy. Now let's revisit for a moment what I said about the fact that you don't actually have to create the life that you really want for yourself, because it already exists. This is true. You are here and you are a perfect representation of the source energy that you were destined to choose yourself to be. You are who you are right now in this moment on purpose, and it is for a reason. Now, many of the things that pain you in your life, that rub you the wrong way, that make you feel sick, that make you feel heavy, that make you feel uncomfortable, these things feel heavy because you're carrying things that don't actually belong to you. You might be carrying an idea about what relationships are supposed to be that doesn't belong to you. You might be carrying a job that doesn't belong to you. You may be carrying an attitude about life and what life is and what you have to do in it that doesn't belong to you. You can tell clearly when something doesn't belong to you because of the toxic way it feels when you focus on it. Now, what I want you to know is that when you ask yourself what you really want out of life, some of the standard things that we begin to say on the human level is, I want a romance relationship. I want more money, right? I want a bigger house. These are certain things that people come to. And there's nothing wrong with this. It's perfectly understandable, because from a young age, we have been exposed to movie after movie, media after media, society after society, moment by moment, everyone else around us suggesting that that is what you should want. I'm not asking you what you think you should want. I'm not asking you, what do you think will bring you happiness in your life? What do you think will fulfill you? I'm asking you, what do you know in your heart? What do you know in your heart is who you are and the path that you wish to take in this world. Because that path is the path that is always knocking on the door and is always beckoning you, calling you toward it. And the only thing that is holding you back from it is two things. Fear, wondering, can I really be who I actually am? Can I really walk the path that resonates with me? Can I really do that? Will I really succeed? Will others judge me? Will I make it? That's fear. And the second thing is not having the clarity, not having had the realization yet about who you are and what you prefer. How do you get clear on what you prefer? How do you get clear on who it is that you actually are? Just keep living your life. Keep living, keep moving forward, because every experience in your life is going to give you more and more clarity on what you actually prefer. I didn't have the clarity on what I wanted to do for the rest of my life in terms of my contribution to the world, my service to you. Other people might call this a job. I call it the way that I exercise the service of my divineness. So for me, I didn't have the clarity on this until after I had multiple jobs. I worked as a receptionist. I worked as someone at the front desk of a retail store, at a pharmacy. I worked as a host, a waiter, food runner, all these different jobs. And every single one of them, I got clearer and clearer on who I really am and what I really want to be doing in my life. So just keep moving forwards. Because even when you get jobs and experience certain kinds of relationships in your life that you don't like, that's a win. Because now you have more clarity on the fact that you don't like that. So anything that feels like it sucks in your life that you're experiencing, let me try to find a good spot here. Anything that it feels like kind of sucks that you're experiencing in your life, it's actually a good thing. It's a good thing because you are inevitably becoming clearer and clearer on who you are and what you prefer. So don't worry about experiencing things you don't like. It's a good thing in the long run, because now that you know you don't like it, perfect. You can cross that off the list and move forward on to the next thing. Now, the second thing that holds people back, we said the fear, right? Wondering if you'll really succeed. Let me tell you something clearly. You will succeed at being who you are. Listen to this. You will succeed at who you are. There is no way you will fail at being who you really are. That's not how life works. Understand, there is no one like you. No one Not exactly like you. We can have similarities, sure, but no one who's exactly like you. No one who is carrying the God-given purpose within them, just waiting to be allowed to come through them. I want you to know that when you be who you really are, you always win. Every single time. Every single time. Because you are the only one that can be you as perfectly as you can. Do you feel that? Do you hear? It's so obvious, right? It just makes sense. Walking the path that belongs to you, being who you really are, doing and expressing yourself in this world via the unique spark of creation that God has given you. That is what you will win at. I personally in my life experienced so many failures, all actually successes, because it helped me to learn more about myself and get that clarity, right? But I can see clearly now, this is the clarity I've gained, that I was trying to be someone who I thought I was, but it wasn't actually who I really am. So a lot of this path, a lot of this awakening has to do with realizing that which we are and that which we are also not, the things that don't belong to us. I'll ask you again, now that we've been sitting in this energy and bathing in it together for a while, maybe you'll have more clarity this time. What do you prefer out of life? What do you want? And if you've really got the answer, you'll know it. Because when it comes to you, when it comes through you, you just know. You don't wonder, oh, maybe I'm wrong. Oh, no, you know. It is obvious to you. It is extremely obvious and clear. And now all you have to do is maintain that clarity. I'm going to share with you one more special exercise that we can do that helps us to realize who we really are. And I hope this benefits you because it's changed my life for the better. Realize that you could die tonight in your sleep. You could die choking on food. You could die on your way to work in the car. Someone you love in your life could die. Death is inevitable. It is going to happen to every single one of us. And every minute we are alive, we are 1 minute closer to our death. I'm not telling you this to freak you out or to scare you, but consider right now. Be honest with yourself. Most people never consider or think about death because it scares them. I want you to think about it. I want you to consider it right now. Imagine that you have 1 week left to live. Really enter into that dream that we're going to imagine together. And what are you going to do with that week? What are you going to do? How are you going to treat the people in your life? How are you going to express yourself? Are you going to waste even one single moment of any day to complain about something? Or are you going to be appreciating and loving everything, loving every precious moment of your life? Are you going to go to that job again and are you going to love it? Or are you going to finally take that dive into the thing you always felt within you, the song that's always been yours to sing, and you're going to sing it to the world because you realize that you've spent so long in your life putting it off. Today's not the day, maybe some other time. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. I'm tired today. I'm tired tomorrow too. Death is coming. And that's not something to be afraid of, because death is one of the most profound and enlightening teachers. Death encourages us to be here now in this moment and to appreciate it. Death encourages us to realize that every amount of wealth we attain, every mansion house we buy, we can't take it with us. We're still going to die. Death humbles all of us to the same level. Death shows us all the truth. That being who you really are, living today fully, letting go completely of that nonsense fear about what others are going to think or whether you're going to be received or what will this do or will I succeed, will I fail? You don't care about whether you'll succeed or fail when you know that death is your ultimate destination. You don't care anymore. You live your life as the you that you really are, and that's it. That's all there is. And if you can do this, the joke is that you will be living in a way that spiritually enlightened masters live. Be here in this moment. Be who you are. Be authentic. Be genuine. Live your life. Express who you really are in this world, and stop wasting your time and energy and attention on these petty things that don't even belong to you. You're just too afraid to let them go because you don't know who you'll be without them. But if you let go, I got news for you. Anything that doesn't belong to you, anything that isn't actually who you are, if you let go, it falls out of your life. And anything that does belong to you, it stays. So just let go. You got nothing to fear. Life, the universe, God, source, your soul, spirit, who you really are, is so powerful. They are taking care of you. They will take care of the process for you. Your job on the human level is to be here now in this moment. Do it. There is nothing stopping you. And if you are really awake right now in this moment, and you consider it, you'll see that not only is there nothing in life trying to stop you, you'll see that everything in your life right now, everything, is actually encouraging you to do it. And I don't think that you would still be here listening to this video if that wasn't true. Would you? Much love to you, my friend. You are far more amazing than you could possibly think. And if you just let go, you won't fall. You will fly. You will rise and become greater than you could have ever imagined. And I just think that that would be a truly beautiful thing, don't you? I think that it would just make your life so much better and everybody else's life so much better too, right? Like maybe we could realize the best thing we could do for the world and everyone else around us is to fly, to be who we really are and emanate this powerful vibrational energy of presence. I think it would be pretty spectacular, honestly. So thanks for being here. Thanks for pulling this message through. The truth is, today I'm a hollow shell. You are the voice that is speaking. I'm just getting out of the way so that you can have a conversation with yourself. That's what I do. Don't you hear how powerful you really are speaking to you? You could be that power in every moment if you're only willing to have the courage to move forward, even though you might still have some fear. Thank you. Thank you. Much love. And I hope to see you for the next Vibes and Frequencies video. See you soon, my friend.